communication has a series of steps that we go through. There's only 5 basic steps. There's a lot of nuances in there as you go through, but there's a whole process as you go through. When you have an idea, the sender has something up here. So they have an idea and they encode the message. So they're encoding their language. Sometimes it's in writing as they go through. They have to choose a channel that they send it through. If you're going to have an oral message, you're going to talk about it verbally outside and talk to people. You organize the thoughts in your head, what you want to say. Sometimes you prepare notes before you say it. Sometimes you're going to write it down. So you're going to think about, do I text this? Do I sit or send it by email? Do I write a memo in the process? Do I make it a paper? Do I need to send it by a letter? Make it much more formal. Do I need to sit down and send it certified mail? So it depends what you want through. You want to take the idea, you encode the message, you choose the pathway that you want to send it through as you go throughout, and then the receiver receives that message. And when they receive it, they have to figure out, they have to decode, what does that person mean by this? What is that person? Are they saying what I think they're saying? And you may say something totally innocent in the process, and somebody becomes offended at what you say. Be careful, and that's why we talk about business communication. That's kind of what this class is all about. The receiver decodes the message and makes certain in the process they want a feedback, they return it back to the sender. Thank you very much for this. I appreciate it. What did you mean by this? Did you call me this name over here? Oh, well, thank you for the compliment. You want to make certain that the sender has an idea, they encode the message, they choose a pathway or a channel to communicate that message. The receiver receives the message, and then they provide feedback to the sender as they go through in the process. These 5 steps, we call them the communication process. And there's different things that will shape the understanding. What is the climate? What's the context and setting as you go through? What's the background and experience? If you're talking to somebody about a complex topic and they don't know anything about, you might as well talk to the wall and get a better response from it because you haven't educated them or they don't have that kind of experience in the process. What is your knowledge level about the topic you're talking about? And some days, what is the mood? Sometimes you're bringing something up and they have 15 different things in the process. Did you sit down, if you're going to deliver a complex message, are they already dealing with 15 other complex messages? Are you trying to catch them at the end of the day as you're trying to go out the door? Or they first come in and they have different things happening? What are the values, beliefs, and culture in the process? There's a lot of different factors involved in these 5 different pathways for communication. Sometimes you have barriers. You went around me, you went to my boss about this topic. I'll get you. Oh, and they may not say it out loud. They may just sit there and sulk and stew about it and think about how they're going to get their revenge on you for going around behind their back. And you were just happened to be walking down the hallway and your boss's boss just asked you a simple question. And you didn't know that it ended up being a political fiasco in the process. Sometimes there's a difference in frame of reference. This is my perspective. How come you're all offended at this in the process? You have a frame of reference, and sometimes there's just kind of a language skill area. You have a problem, or sometimes there's a distraction as you're going through. So you have to really overcome communication obstacles. Realize, first of all, no communication is ever perfect as you go through. You have to adapt the message to receive it on your end and also the receiver when you're talking. Sometimes improving language and listening skills, question your preconceptions, encourage feedback as you go through. These 5 steps really are a big thing in building good communication. Practice them as you go through. Think about what you say and words, verbally, text, writing as you go through the process. Make certain you're making yourself clear and have a good communication plan for a business pro like you. Take care.